everybody. Thank you, Philip. And thank you to the playwrights. Okay, I've been working on a project for 3 years about the Reagans in the 1980s. And we got a modeling assignment the other day, and I realized that in my book, I found out 2 months ago, my book got picked up by Future Poems. So I realized that I never really gave Nancy a moment. So in my book, this isn't really Nancy Reagan. It's told through a story is told through these avatars of pop cultural figures, and so the characters are all like these blurry, figures that we all know and are familiar with. So they're that cultural figure, but they're kind of like these assemblages that are built from our memories. So it's also a project about archiving. Okay. During our White House years, I said almost nothing about how I really felt regarding the controversies that ultimately defined me. I had a public face, and behind that were closed doors that were better left shut. I did often drop hairpins or hide unmistakable clues around the house, sometimes the house grounds, in order to get my ideas across, my opinions to the floor. I once left a dying cockroach, which I crushed with my bare foot upon leaving the Lincoln bedroom on Don's death. After that, he knew his days were numbered. It's not like I wanted to do it. He was a dear, dear friend. We both just loved John Wayne, Rio Bravo, that line. If I ever saw a man holding a bull by the tail, you're it. Of course, momentum is everything in politics, and before too long, we had everyone talking about the erosion of traditional morality. So many pictures of us standing side by side. Back then, Ronnie resented the loss of privacy, but I explained to him, this is nothing new, baby. There's nothing here but us. He believed me. That's how he lived. He had a good act. He'd always say that to me. Mommy, we got a good act going here. First and foremost, to reclaim the stature, the dignity of the White House. I happen to have impeccable taste, and we had to live there, so that's the kind of work that fell to me, the First Lady. I was in awe, continually so. I walked that entire building, every foot of it, at least once a day. I was taking inventory, keeping house. In the first month, I embarked on an intensive research that I told no one about, not even Ronnie. Of the 132 rooms in the White House, I'd say that there are at least 20 that put me in a state of absolute trance. I eventually learned what to avoid, but that first year, I could be hollowed out instantly if I crossed the wrong threshold. A zombie in hose and heels, can you imagine? Looking back, I wonder, was this a state of rapture? I've never been sure. A sense of possession would suddenly strike me. Other times the emptiness would cocoon from room to room, sort of pull me apart, I guess. My legs, just 2 earrings hanging from whatever lump my body turned into. I was so awed by the majesty and dignity of the place. We had guests often. That's what all the fuss was about. I wanted things to be nice. We had lovely evenings there, some of the best of my life. It's interesting how people look at you, how idiotic that can be right to your face. They look at you like you're something flat. I could always sense that stupid question right before it landed. What does it feel like to be the First Lady? Those rooms, now that I'm thinking of them again, I'm getting a chill running right through me. I can't quite put my finger on it. The feeling it gave me to peek into those appointed rooms, so historic. Something stopping me in my tracks, pulling my heart up through my throat like a needle pulling thread. I'm standing in the goddamn White House, for goodness sake. That gut terror brings me right back to a face my mother used to make. Did you know she was also on the stage? She could make all the old vaudevillian expressions, but there was one I never forgot. Her frozen face, mouth and eyes wide open. She'd lock eyes with you, and if you stared back, well, her face holes, well, this is kind of silly, but they keep expanding. They kind of burn out, like when you hold a cigarette to an old photograph, and the circles melt their way out. A circle getting away from itself. Then the heat's a kind of water running away, and in that hole I saw a flash of fish, a last little sliver slipping away. What a funny memory, those rooms. All along I kept thinking something was there, but nothing was.